Hello there and welcome to GHPage Radio Extra. Today is the 2nd of January 2026. So we are officially in the second day of the new year here in Japan. Unfortunately, there is a bit of unpleasant news that we have to bring to you this afternoon. If you're in Ghana, you have to understand that Japan is always ahead of Ghana by 9 solid hours. So it's afternoon here, but I guess it's still around morning time in Ghana. Snow is falling here in Osaka today. The news that we have for you today is that whilst everyone was crossing over from 2025 to 2026, there was this particular Ghanaian guy who is living here in Japan who did this crossing over here in Japan from the police cells because he was arrested by the Japan police for sexually molesting a woman in her 30s. Now let us delve deeper into the details and I will tell you what exactly happened with this Ghanaian guy and what he did and the reason why he's been detained by the police here in Japan on New Year's Eve. So this unfortunate story actually took place in the Aoi Ward in the Shizuoka City here in Japan. The Ghanaian guy, whose name has not yet been released by the police, is reportedly around 37 years of age and is living in the Shimizu Ward. According to the story, on the 31st of December 2025, this gentleman, whose name and other details are yet to be released by the Japanese police, was reportedly having dinner in a restaurant in the Aoi Ward in the Shizuoka City around 10 p.m. Per the report, he was drunk. He was seated by his table. A woman whose details have also not yet been given by the Japanese police was passing by the man's table. Per the report, this Ghanaian man first grabbed the arm of this woman. He then went on to fondle the chest of the woman. So when you talk about fondling the chest of a woman, you are talking about the woman's cleavage. So around her boobs, her breasts and all that. He did all that and then also went further ahead to fondle the buttocks of the woman in the full glare of everyone at the restaurant at this particular time. So the woman vehemently protested against this sexual molestation action by this Ghanaian man and she immediately reported the case to the restaurant staff. The restaurant staff immediately contacted the police at the Aoi Ward, who arrived and questioned the actions of the Ghanaian man, who was obviously under the influence of alcohol or he was heavily intoxicated. Meanwhile, when the police arrived on the scene and interrogated the 37-year-old Ghanaian man, he admitted to having a non-consensual sexual contact with the woman in her 30s. So the man was immediately taken into custody. Furthermore, per the reports that are available on the internet, he later on changed his statement and did not touch anyone. So as we know in Japan, the Japanese police have begun to examine security camera footages at the restaurant and are going to conduct further investigations to establish the actual truth, whether he committed any of the offenses that he's been accused of committing. Investigations are currently ongoing and the Japanese police are investigating this particular issue to establish the following: whether one, there was a contact between the 37-year-old Ghanaian man and the woman in her 30s. That's one. Two, to also find out whether the allegations of sexual molestation or non-consensual sexual contact that the woman is alleging against the 37-year-old Ghanaian man is true, and also to find out whether the man behaved under the influence of alcohol. So the Japanese police are going to establish all these facts. And obviously, when they finish establishing the fact of the matter, they will then decide whether they will proceed with charges against this 37-year-old Ghanaian man who has been involved in this particular case. Don't forget, this is not the first time that the Ghanaian national has been involved in a sexual misconduct case here in Japan. There is an existing case of a Ghanaian guy here in Osaka who sexually assaulted a high school lady and is currently serving a prison sentence here in Japan. This obviously does not augur well with the image of Ghanaians here in Japan. But GHPage Radio Extra actually made contact with the Japanese police in the Aoi Ward, and we were able to confirm that a Ghanaian national has been arrested in the case that has been reported on the internet, and he is in custody, and the Japanese police are conducting further investigations into the allegations that has been made against him. Now, the details are yet to be known. In this case, it is the responsibility of the Ghana embassy in Japan, 1, to establish contact with the Japanese police through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here in Japan and find out the full identity of the Ghanaian national who is living in Shimizu and has been involved in this particular case, because the Ghana embassy here in Japan is supposed to represent the interests of all Ghanaian nationals here in Japan. So I do not know whether that has been done. That should be the responsibility of the Ghana embassy here in Japan. Before the various associations, the main Ghana association in Tokyo and then the one in Osaka and the rest get involved to go to the aid of this particular gentleman who has been involved in this particular unfortunate instance. We know with our people that when a Ghanaian national is involved in such cases, unless it's a high-ranking official, they normally don't do anything about it. They will sit idle and wait until something bad happens to the Ghanaian national who has been involved in it. So the Ghana embassy here in Japan, it is your responsibility to immediately establish contact with the Japanese police and find out. We know that we are in the holiday period, but this is a Ghanaian national who has been involved in this case. And this shouldn't be the responsibility of a mere Ghanaian citizen living in Japan to go to the aid of this gentleman who has found himself in this unfortunate situation here in Japan on New Year's Eve. So we are urging the Ghana embassy in Japan to immediately go to the aid of this gentleman and establish the fact of the matter and know how you guys can offer him any legal support that he can access here in Japan, because obviously he did that under the influence of alcohol, though that is not a justification for him to misconduct himself in such way and manner. But this is the primary responsibility of the Ghana embassy here in Japan to go into the need of this particular gentleman who has found himself in this particular unfortunate situation here in Japan. This is by way of update that we brought to you here live on GHPage Radio Extra. If you like the story, please don't forget to like the video, put your comments in the comment section, share the video for your friends and family members and your colleagues to also get access to it. But most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The name of the platform is GHPage Radio Extra, and my name is Emmanuel Achekon. Until we come your way once again with another video, please don't forget to stay out of trouble and have a blissful 2026. Sayonara. Bye bye.